Welcome everybody to the second episode of Sax On Air. So first of all, I would like to thank all the people that tuning in to the first episode with the Taiwanese composer Wei Silin, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And today I have the pleasure to present you my great friend and great composer, Theocharis Papatrechas. So hi Harris, and thanks for accepting my invitation.
Hello Michele, thank you for having me, and of course it's a pleasure. Even though I was invited second, but you know, I love you and I love Jay.
You are right. Yeah, you will be the first, the next series.
All right.
Okay, so let's go at the beginning. So we met the first time in 2010 in Helsinki during our Erasmus program at Sibelius Academy.
Right.
And we started there our collaboration, first talking and exchanging ideas and impressions on music, on composition, and of course also on saxophone. And so the first real collaboration was in 2014 when you wrote your first piece for saxophone, Aspettando, a solo piece for alto saxophone. And so I would like to start right with the audio samples with score. And then we will talk a little bit about your composition style at that point of your life.
Of course.
Okay, so this was a short part of Aspettando. You can listen the whole piece on my YouTube channel. And so, Harris, let's talk a bit about this piece and in general about your composition style at that point in your life. So, what about your ideas there, and what about your approach for the first time to the instrument?
Yeah. First, I want to say that before writing this piece, I hadn't written for saxophone, so I wasn't familiar with the instruments. I didn't have the possibility to collaborate and engage with other saxophonists to explore the sonic capabilities of the instrument. And I want to admit that before writing this piece, I was feeling a bit intimidated by the instrument. Firstly, because I wasn't familiar with it, and secondly, because in my mind, at that point, it was an instrument that was very sonically concrete, and it was lacking, let's say, flexibility in producing the elements of fragility and vulnerability in the timbre, that elements that were very, very significant in my musical language and thinking. And you know, by fragility, I mean the process of having a very concrete and very raw sound, and finding ways to destruct this clarity and brightness. So, of course, meeting you and then going through various sessions and discussions together on the instrument, and then on how we're going to find ways to project these ideas that I had, I realized that I was wrong. So it turned out to be a medium that acquires these principles to the extreme. And so, for instance, throughout the piece of Aspettando, one can see moments where the voice is being utilized at the same time with the saxophone, an effect that provides this intended fragile sound. And I guess formally the piece is influenced by Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, a play that presents a scenario of two main protagonists, right, going through various conversations of random topics, and the main purpose of the play is that the two guys are waiting for Godot to come, who of course never comes. So this interplay of different scenarios, a sequence of different scenarios, was really fascinating for me, and I tried to depict this process into the piece, and the piece presents a fragmented landscape with a sequence of distinct musical situations put in order.
Yeah, of course, we have listened just to two of these sequences, but if people will listen the whole piece, this idea that you have just explained is quite clear.
Yes.
Yeah. So talking about the instrument, in this piece you show an instrument with a very powerful sound and very loud, and you show also the relationship between, as you said, between the voice and the instrument, and so after this, your approach to the instrument changed a lot, and I mean, not your approach, but your idea of the instrument, changed a lot, because in the piece that you wrote after Aspettando, that involved saxophone, of course, the use of the instrument that you did is quite far from the one that you had in Aspettando. So
exactly.
Yeah. So what did you change? I mean, what this first approach with the instrument brought to you and gave to you, and like in sort of in terms of inspiration or ideas or research?
Going further, after the first attempt of writing for saxophone, which was Aspettando, of course, I focused on amplifying further this element of fragility that I was explaining before, and in order to do that, my approach was to apply a number of layers of playing techniques upon a single event. And before writing the second saxophone piece, I wrote the quartet that included the saxophone, and then it was premiered by your ensemble. And this idea of fragility exists in all four of the instrumental parts. So in the saxophone part, for instance, one can see moments, single notes, let's say, that present a single frequency, right? And I'm asking you, the performer, to articulate this pitch with the addition of a large amount of air, which is sometimes inhaled and sometimes exhaled.
Exhaled, yeah.
Which to me provides a totally different outcome, right? So the inhale is and the exhale is. So in the inhale, one can see the presence of higher partials, whereas in the exhale, lower partials are more present. So we have the frequency, we have the air. On top of that, I'm asking at various instances you to articulate a consonant. Let's say t or a k or ts. And again, I'm looking for a multiplicity of different colors. And in this way, a landscape is created full of these very tiny sonic intricacies, and that produce at the end a very transparent and disembodied veil of sound.
I think that in the quartet that we are going to listen in a while, I mean, you went further with the relationship between voice and saxophone, no? With the possibility that a performer can do both simultaneously and or not, with voice and sound. But what is more interesting to me is the possibility that the saxophone can have combining breath, air, and sound. So this for me was the focal point of that piece.
Exactly.
And yeah, that makes also the saxophone very close to, for example, the flute, let's say, and that allow the saxophone to be together with the flute, that of course is not as loud as the saxophone is, and together, like in some part they seems like one instrument, no?
Exactly. Well, the purpose there was to apply this global timbral quality that I was explaining before, this fragile quality, in a way to strengthen the relationship between the instruments.
Yeah, okay, so let's listen and accept from Doomed to Its Paralyzed Eternity, that is this quartet for flute, saxophone, piano, and percussion. Okay, so if you want you to listen to the whole piece of Harris, this quartet, you can find the quartet on the SoundCloud of Ensemble Sono Giallo. So we go on with this conversation, but first, I mean, I would like to say few words more about what we said till now. So the idea of Sax On Air, behind the Sax On Air, is to show the possibilities that the saxophone has in contemporary music, and to show also the very different uses that composers can do with this instrument. No, so I think that with these two pieces, no, we show like almost, it seems like two different instruments. It doesn't. I mean, okay, the timbre is there, the sound is there, but you know, they are very distant ways, no, to work with the instrument.
Yes, and I think this interaction that we had exploring the instrument played a vital role for me for this, you know, evolution of my thought and approach on the instrument.
Yeah. So sorry for interrupting you. So you know how is important to me the collaboration between composer and performer and composer. No, so I've already said on the first episode with Jay, that the importance about this collaboration, and also that I don't like this relationship that is like I compose and you play, and
the traditional.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? I mean, first of all, is it important for you to collaborate directly with the performer, and if yes, how much, and how this collaboration enter in your composition process on the final result of the piece?
Well, it's highly significant for me, especially at this point. First of all, it's a way of exploring further the instrument, because of course you can have the resources to read about the instrument and then learn about the instrument, and by resources I mean, you know, the various instrumentation books, etc. But being with a performer and interacting with a performer presents a totally different body of knowledge to you, and not only knowledge but also experience. One of the things that are very important to me is the idea of tactility, and by tactility I mean having the possibility to be in a very close proximity with the instrument itself, right? And then to be in a very close proximity with the instrument, I need to be very close with the performer, so that I can engage with the way that the performer performs on the instrument, and you know what is the visceral interaction of the performer with the instrument. And another element of the interaction I'm interested in is writing for a performer, writing for a particular performer. I'm trying to reflect to the performer, and to the performer I mean the way they play, the way they are, you know, their behavior, their character. And I'm really interested in incorporating the elements of the personality of the performer into the piece. So for instance, in the second saxophone piece that I wrote for you, I incorporated many, we can say, humorous elements. You know, this,
of course.
the humor plays an important role in our interaction.
Yeah, we will listen also some part of this piece. But first, I would like to ask you something about your relationship with also the electronics. No, so since you started to study in San Diego, no? I mean, your focus was particularly in electronics music, and
at this point,
and particularly instrumental with electronics, no?
Yes.
So this relation between instrument and electronics is always very weird, no? So sometimes there is too much instrument and electronics. Sometimes there is all electronics and the instrument is just there. I mean, as a presence, no, without any meaning. So I mean, of course, these are my ideas. I'm not judging anybody. So, but I would like to ask you, since you are writing different pieces with instrument and electronics. So, how do you use the electronics in your composition process? And do you think that, I mean, the electronics can add something more to an instrument, something important to an instrument?
My mentality towards electronics is that it needs to be a component that is equally significant with the instrumental part. So what I'm seeking is a total fusion and marriage of the two components. So none of them is dominating over the other. And my electronic writing, especially in the recent pieces, involves sonic material that has been produced by the instruments themselves, that they exist in the same context of the piece. I'm seeing the electronics as a means of filtering the acoustic component. So there is a very concrete and very strong relationship between the two.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you that this relationship between the instrument and the electronics has to be very strong to make the piece come out like a unique, no? So yeah, let's listen to the excerpt from your last piece for tenor, saxophone, and the electronics. So the title is "Yet So Terribly Afraid of Its Endlessness," and yeah, so let's listen to it. Okay, so this piece was part of my first CD in solo. So you can listen to the CD also in YouTube on all the other digital platforms. And if you would like to listen to the Harris piece and all the other pieces that are included on it. So we are almost at the end of our conversation. So what I would like to ask you is again about saxophone. So you have already written a lot for saxophone. No? So one solo piece, then you included the instrument in different pieces of chamber music. Then you wrote for saxophone and electronics, no? So it seems you like the instrument.
I think I like you more. So
yeah, yeah, that's of course. But what about the instrument?
Well, first of all, I want to say that this is what we were talking about before, that if we didn't have this relationship and this interaction in daily life, I wouldn't have the possibility to write for this instrument and explore this instrument. So our relationship plays a very important role in me writing for the instrument.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
And I'm really grateful, because I wouldn't have the opportunity. So at this point, I'm planning to write a third piece for you, for saxophone and electronics.
Okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, yes. Nice. So it's preview. Is a preview.
I'm telling you now. I'll send you the contract soon. So
okay.
Lately, I had the opportunity to be involved in a project that involves acoustic data from the Arctic. We were presented with a library of sounds that incorporate sounds from the ocean, sounds of different mammals from the ocean, whales, dolphins, etc. And I'm collaborating with performers, and these performers are interpreting these sounds to create a musical experience. And then in the final outcome, these interpretations are presented along with the original sounds. So we create a relationship between them, and in a way, we bring unseen elements of the nature to the broader community, and then we create together a musical experience. And this is the idea. Similarly, in this next piece that I want to write for saxophone, I would like to work with recordings from nature, and especially I'm looking for recordings that present sonic manifestations of metallic interactions, which I find to be quite compatible with the sound of the saxophone. So I'm again seeking to combine these two worlds together and create a musical experience. So this is the next endeavor.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking forward to start this new adventure.
I'm looking forward too. Yes.
Yeah. So what to say? I mean, I think that we have showed very different types of saxophone, no? And very different types to approach to this instrument. So I hope everybody enjoyed our talking, and I invite all of you to visit the website of Theocharis Papatrechas, and to visit his SoundCloud and his YouTube channel, where you will find different music by him.
I want to say that it's a lot more to be explored, of course, you know, this process is endless, and I'm really grateful that our paths have crossed in life, and I'm looking forward to continuing this process of exploration with you. And again, I would like to thank you for having me here, and good luck. And this is a great initiative. So good luck with it, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
Okay, thanks again, and bye everybody.